All right, we've got the next one on there was papaya. To me, papaya is one of the greatest fruit in the tropics. I really, really like papaya. It's almost something you have to learn to like because it has a strange odor. But it's nowhere near as bad as durian, which they have in India, which I understand is so revolting that most people throw up at their first exposure to durian, but it's delicious if you get past your nose, you know. And anyway, papaya is a really neat fruit, and I have one at the nursery that puts out a fruit this big and matures. You can get fruit that big in the stores that only matures as a small fruit. You can get the great big mammoth ones and grow them. It's from seed to fruit in a year. And they have to have, again, they've got to have a good soil. They love a moist, fertile soil, a lot of mulch because they get root knot. And keep them heavily mulched and full sun, and they will produce fruits in a year. Now the tree only lasts about 5 years and it's gone, but by then you have seeded others. And they are dioecious, meaning you have to have a male and a female in the older varieties. A lot of them that are coming in now are called solo, and it's off one that was back when I was a kid. A guy introduced one called blue solo. Why, I don't know, blue, but solo, because it didn't need cross-pollination. But if you have the male papaya, you have one of the sweetest scented flowering trees you could put in your yard. The male papaya, absolutely delicious aroma. Now,
Not the female.
What's that?
Not the female.
Not the female. No, not this time. My mother came from Chicago. She was born in Vienna. She had a beauty shop. Most of the stuff she cooked was, old country. I know she could make fish that you could put in the bottom of your shoe and it would close the hole for days, when she cooked fish. But somehow or another she knew that if she took a papaya leaf and she pounded it with meat on the inside of it, it would soften the meat. So papaya is an automatic tenderizer. It's really, really effective. And it's also really good for blood. It's also really good for digestion. What else have I got down there? Used to tenderize meat and treat insect stings. In fact, if you are stung by something and you don't have ammonia or anything else around, crunching up a leaf like that and rubbing it into the sting, really rubbing it in. If it's a bee, you got to take that stinger out of there, but if it's a wasp or anything else, you should be able to control that because the papain in this actually digests the protein in the sting. It's an acid, and that's why ammonia is so great, because the acid is formic acid. The family, again the family thing, but on insects, it's called Formiceidae, meaning they all sting with formic acid. And so if you put ammonia on there, or baking soda, or stingies, which is ammonia in an expensive jar, and papaya and this kind of stuff, it really does a great job. Also, papaya are really good cooked as a squash before they become fully mature. You cook them as a squash, and you'd have to get a recipe because I don't really know how to tell you to do it, but I have eaten them at a friend of mine who is Latin, and they make a delicious fruit. Delicious meat. All right, so papayas are something, it's right there.